Okay, Sanhedrin, we're going to start Pei Aleph Amid Aleph, we're going to start the Mishnah. A little bit of it we learned, but we're going to start from the Mishnah. Okay, Mishnah says like this. Mishnah is Chayiv Shtei Misas Bezdin. A guy did one Aveda that gets two types of death. And the Gemara is going to give examples for it. Nidim Bechamura. Then you get, let's say a guy did one Aveda, that you get Skila. Oh no, it could even be two types of Avedas. Okay? He did one Aveda of Skila, one Aveda of Sreifa. So which one does he get? He gets the one of Skila, because Skila is stricter. Aver Aveda in his Chayiv Shtei Misas. What happens if a guy did one Aveda, and again, this the Gemara is going to say cases. The first case is a guy did two Avedas. He desecrated Shabbos and committed adultery. So it's Skila and Chenek. So what punishment does he get? He gets Skila. What happens if a guy did one Aveda that gets two deaths? One Aveda gets two deaths. Friends, the Gemara is going to say very simple. A guy lived with his mother-in-law. So his mother-in-law is a mother-in-law plus Shnei Shesish. Now, Eish Shesish gets Chenek. Mother-in-law gets a different punishment. So which one do you get? It says Nidam B'Chamuda. But Rabbi argues, Rabbi says an interesting point. Nidam B'Zika Rishena Sheba Olav. And the Gemara is going to explain what this means. He is judged for the first prohibition that he did. And the Gemara is going to explain what this means. Okay? So basically the Mishnah says, you do two Mises, you get the stricter one. You do one Aveda that gets two Mises, then Rabbi Yosef says, whatever one's first, that's the one you get.
What about the concept of you choose the better one? The less...
No, you mean to kill him nicely?
Yeah, exactly.
The Torah says you kill him nicely when you kill him, but you got to kill him when you got to kill him. The guy did an Aveda of Skila. He needs to get Skila, that's all. Because otherwise it won't cleanse him. If a guy did an Aveda of Skila and he gets Chenek, so he dies, but the death may not forgive him for his sin completely because he didn't get what the Torah said. The Torah said you need to get Skila. He doesn't get Skila, he gets Chenek, so it's not the same. Okay, so Gemara says Pshita, of course. What do you think? Ali, Tagur. A guy should gain from sinning a lesser sin. He knows a guy did Skila, and now he's going to sin a lesser sin because then he'll get a lesser punishment. Of course, it doesn't make sense. So obviously, if a guy did two Avedas, you're going to get the stricter one. Amir Ravi said like this. Amir Ravi said the case is speaking in a unique situation. What's the situation? First, he did an easier Aveda, meaning a lesser punishment. And he got judged. Bezdin ruled he's getting Chenek. Then, then he desecrated Shabbos, which gets Skila. Okay? So in other words, the Gemara says like this, what's the case? Not Stam, a guy did two Avedas, and now Bezdin has to judge him, so then, okay, that's definite. Here the case is, a guy first did one Aveda of Chenek. And Bezdin Paskin, he's getting Chenek. Then he did Skila. So I would think, why should he get Skila? He's already a dead person. Bezdin already Paskin. He's getting Chenek. So I would think maybe he gets Chenek. So the Mishnah says no. You still get Skila. And that's what it says. I would think. The fact that he made up to do an easier sin. He's considered a dead man. So why should you give him a worse punishment? Kamash Malan, the Mishnah says no. That even though he's a dead man because Bezdin already paskin, he gets Chenek, nevertheless, he's still going to get Skila. Because it's the harder punishment. Okay, so now the Gemara asks, what's the source of it, biblically? The Gemara says, Am boimine Rav Yosef, avod Rav Yosef, b'chom mirabba b'nos. Minoham milsadam mirabanan, from where do we learn out? Mishin is chayiv shtei mises, bezdin nidam b'chamura. From where do we learn? Because maybe Taka you get the lesser one. Maybe the Torah says, you know what, you're dying anyway, give him the lesser one. How do I know, Taka? What's the biblical source? Or Tanakh source at least. That you get the stricter punishment. Because it says in Pasuk like this. There's a whole bunch of Yecheskel psukim the Gemara is bringing out now. It says like this. V'helid ben Peretz, he gave birth to a wild son, Shefich Damim, who sheds blood, Elahodim upon the mountains, Ochal he ate, Eishes Re'eu Timei, his fellow's wife he defiled, Gelulim Nasa Einov, and to idols he lifted his face. He lifted his eyes. So Gemara says like this, he gave birth to a guy that was a murderer, a mountains he ate, and the Gemara is going to explain what that means, and he committed adultery and so on and so forth. So he says like this, what does this mean? Heilid ben Perish Shefich Dam. The guy gave birth to a son, Shefich Dam. What's the punishment if you kill somebody? Sayif. Headache. What's the punishment if you kill somebody? You get headache. As Eishes Re'el Timizu Eishes Sich which gets chenek. Vaz Gululam Nasa Ein of his Avedis Kochavim that you get skila. Okay? So the pasuk says like this. He gave birth to a son that did Avedis of chenek, hereg, and skila. Yeah. And then the Torah says, Pei Aleph. And then it says, Meisyum of Dam of Bay. What does Dam of Bay mean? Skila. So the pasuk says like this, the way the Gemara interprets the pasuk. A guy gave birth to a son who committed 3 capital punishment Avedis. Hereg, chenek, and skila. And then the pasuk says, what does he get? Skila. So you see, what do you get from, you do 3 Avedis, you're going to get the stricter Aved of skila. Maskiv law, Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchok. So Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchok says, who tells you to define the pasuk this way? How are they defining the pasuk? One Aved of headache, one Aved of chenek, one Aved of skila. Maybe all of them are talking about skila. How will you define the pasuk? He says like this: Heilid ben Perish Shefich Dam, that he gave birth to a kid that sheds blood. So it doesn't mean regular killing. It means ben tzeder umeira that gets skila. Eishes Rieu Timei, how do you know it means an Eishes Ish that gets chenek? Maybe it's Naida Murasa. Remember we learned in the Gemara, Kedushin, with a girl you get skila. Velagolulim Nasa Einav, and to idol worshipping you picked up his eyes, which Avedas Kacham skila. In other words, like this. The Gemara defined the pasuk. The Gemara is looking for a source that if you did 3 different Avedas, you get the worst punishment. So they brought a proof. The guy murdered, which is headache. He committed adultery, is chenek. And then he did Avedazah, which is skila. And what does the pasuk say he gets? He gets skila. So you learn out that you get the stricter punishment, yeah? So the Gemara says, how do you know that's what the pasuk means? Maybe it's talking about all 3 Avedas of skila. He shed blood, he's a ben seder umeira. Because he's eventually going to kill. The other one, he defiled a woman. It doesn't mean an Eishesish that had chuppah. It means skila. I mean, Edison, Kedushin. Remember we learned in the Gemara, what's the din if you live with a girl that was engaged, Kedushin, not marriage, then it's skila. And Avedazar is skila. So of course the pasuk says he gets skila. How do you know though if there's different punishments you get to the worst one? So Gemara says, Imkei makamashlo and Yecheskel. Then what's Yecheskel telling me? If you have a skila, you get skila? Of course. What else are you going to get? So obviously Yecheskel's telling us something in the pasuk. So the Gemara says, no, maybe he's just reviewing Torah. How do you know he's saying something new? Maybe he's just saying, skila, get skila. He says, no, if he only did it that way, then he should have made it like Mishnah Torah. He should have said it the way Moshe Rabbeinu said Mishnah Torah. The fact that he didn't, he made it like a new halacha, means he's teaching us something new. What new thing is he teaching us? There are different punishments. You get the worst of them all. So if there's headache, chenek, and skila, what punishment do you get? You get skila. So that's the source of our Mishnah. That's the source of the Mishnah that says that if somebody does different avedas with different punishments, what punishment do you get? You get the worst
So
one.
we come to the conclusion that it is talking about 3 different types of...
Yeah.
How? But it must be.
Because now what he told me the same
Otherwise
thing.
it's not a chiddush.
Yeah, otherwise what's Yecheskel telling me? That if you didn't have a skila, you get skila, of course, what are you going to get?
So that
You can't get skila 3 times. So obviously means that. Okay.
You could have a situation of murder that deserves skila, and a situation of niyuf that deserves skila. Right?
No. Oh yeah, that's what the Gemara's question
Which
was.
is not what this passage
Right.
can be talking.
Okay, then the Gemara says like this. Another pasuk in Yecheskel. Gemara is talking about a bunch of Yecheskel pasukim here. What does it say? It says in Yecheskel, Elohorim lo'ochal. Upon the mountains he didn't eat. What does that mean? It means he was so great. The mountains refer to the office. You know, Meirish Surah Marenu, Rashi says the mountains mean the office. When it says he didn't eat on the mountains, meaning he was so great, he didn't have to rely on the merits of Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. He had his own merits. Yeah. And his eyes did not lift upon the idols of the Eden, meaning became a skufa. He never went erect. It says in Allah, you're not allowed to walk erect because it's a sign of gaiva. And he didn't impurify somebody else's wife, meaning he never mixed into, he never took away somebody else's business. It's interesting. The Gemara just said before the same pasuk, all for evil.
Like that blessing that...
No, but I'm saying, but here, Rav Acha Bar Chanina learned it in a positive way. Not that he committed adultery and then he did skila and avodah zarah. No. He didn't need to rely. He was so great, he didn't rely on the office. He never walked erect. He never disturbed somebody else's business.
So was it kind?
No. Well, I don't think so. Well, I don't know, maybe. El Isha ben Nida lekol yikrav, and then it says he never approached the woman who was Nida. Shleinana mikupa shel tzedakah. He never benefited from tzedakah money. He never took tzedakah. Uksiv tzadiku chayu yichya. About a person, he says, he's a righteous man, the pasuk says. Such a guy is going to live long. Okay? So that's how he learned the pasuk. Got it? So now the Gemara says, when Ram Gamliel learned this pasuk, he cried. Why did Ram Gamliel cry? He says, "Man da Ovid lekulo chaya." He said, Ram Gamliel said, the pasuk says, if you do A, B, C, D, you're going to live long, which implies you have to do A, B, C, D to live long. And if you only do one of the 4, you're not going to live long. And Ram Gamliel said, who can be so great to have all 4 merits? He says, "Man da Ovid lekulo dechaya." A guy that does all these good deeds lives. And one of them not. Who else could do such a thing? How many people can reach that level of perfection?
Did Yecheskel live long?
Rabbi Kiva said to him, no. The Torah means even 1. The Torah doesn't mean all 4. Where? Because he says like this. The pasuk says, okay, all the forbidden relationships. In the Torah over there in Vayikra, yeah? The Torah says all the forbidden relationships, and then the Torah says, Al tetamu b'chol eila. Yeah? Now, what does b'chol eila mean? Even one of them is forbidden. If the Torah mentions 10 forbidden relations, yeah? Then it says, Al tetamu b'chol eila. The Torah doesn't say, no, one of them you could do, but all 10 you can't. That's not what it means. Hachanami, the same thing over here when the pasuk says, the Bakula in Organami Bakula in Bachadwin, it doesn't mean that. It means not only all 10, not one. So the same thing, Hochanami ba'achas mikol eila. That means Rabbi Kiva said to Rabbi Gamliel like this. Rabbi Gamliel learned the pasuk that when do you live? When you do all the good things together. So Rabbi Kiva said to him, no, Rabbi. Just like by negative, by bad, it doesn't mean all bad. It means even one of 80 you get punished. So in good, it's also, even if you do one of the good deeds, you also live long. Okay, now the Gemara continues with the next case in the Mishnah. What? In the Mishnah it says like this. Over Aveda, what happens if he did an Aveda, one Aveda, he gets two punishments? So the first opinion says he gets the bigger one. The Biesi says no, you get the first one, right? You get the first of the sin.
The first one that he did?
Well, it doesn't make sense right now. The Gemara is trying to figure out what it means. Tanya, Ketzad, what does this mean? When did Rabbi Yossi say what he said? He said like this. When did Rabbi Yossi say, Nidam bezika rishena ba'olav, that he gets executed for the first prohibition? He said, very simple case. Chamaisai v'nasa eishesish. First, the woman was his mother-in-law. Yeah? But she was single. Divorced or widowed. And then she remarried. And then he lived with her. Now, what was she first? A mother-in-law. Then she became Eshesis. So even though, this is what Rabbi Yossi holds, even though now she's both together, because she was a mother-in-law first, unmarried, then she got married to somebody, yeah, and then he committed adultery with her. So the Chachamim said, okay, Eshesis is Chenek, mother-in-law is Skila. So you're going to get Skila, right? So Rabbi Yossi says, no. This woman was first forbidden to you as a mother-in-law.
But at the time of crime, she was Eshet Ish.
Huh?
At the time
No,
of crime.
No, she wasn't.
She was.
She was.
She was.
She was? Okay.
So she was divorced. Or died.
No, when she was his mother-in-law, when she became his mother-in-law, she was single.
Okay, and then okay.
But at the time of crime, she was Eshet Ish.
Doesn't matter. So then, Nidim B'chamaisei. Then he's judged, in this case it would be the stricter one, then it would be like a mother-in-law, which is Skila.
At the time of the crime, she was remarried already?
Yeah.
Okay, so he gets both, and Skila is
No,
the
but,
worst of the two.
1 second.
The Skila is the worst of the worst of the
Eishes Ish is Chanek.
Right?
Mother-in-law is Skila.
Right?
Okay.
Okay, now, Chachamim hold, you live with a lady who's your mother-in-law and married, Chachamim say you get Skila. Rabbi Yossi says not always. Not always.
Mother-in-law first, and then Eshet.
He says, if the woman, and makes sense by the way, if the woman was first his mother-in-law before she became Eshes Ish, that means her forbiddenness to him was as a mother-in-law. Only. Okay, now she got married, and then she committed adultery with him.
Second time.
No, only once.
Once.
He only committed adultery with her once.
So why do you even have to bring the first that she was your mother-in-law? Of course.
Because now
afterwards is
that mother-in-law forbiddenhood, which are both incorrect,
First thing that-
is the first thing that she was forbidden to him as. Now there's something additional going on it. So Rabbi Yossi holds, you go by the first one.
Which happens with
Therefore, 1 second. If she was first Eshes Ish and then became his mother-in-law, then you would kill him as Eshes Ish, meaning as Chanek. But because she was first a mother-in-law, and then it became, we'll see more, the Gemara is going
Why
to...
is it like that? Why is the long?
That's what Rabbi Yossi holds. It's very logical. Because basically, ein Isser Chalal Isser. Even though it's a different,
But
in this
at the time
case...
of the crime, he had both prohibitions against her.
But is this necessarily final decision?
At the time of the crime, he had both. There were both prohibitions. I mean, I don't care. The guy's getting killed anyways, and he's getting skila anyways.
No, not always. According to Rabbi Yossi, sometimes you'll get Chanek. If she was first an Eishes
right.
Ish,
Okay.
and then she became a mother-in-law.
But at the time of the crime, I mean, is this halacha? Or is this
No, the Allah is like the Chachamim.
which you
Okay,
judge
Rabbi
him-
Yossi holds. One second. Rabbi Yossi holds a simple concept. There's a rule in halacha: ein iser chalal iser.
Unless it's going to be more strict or something.
No, unless it's a massive. There's something that doesn't apply. Okay, but Rabbi Yossi doesn't even hold of that right now. Rabbi Yossi holds once something is forbidden, it can become different forbidden. Ein iser chalal iser. By the way, which is a very practical thing.
For example,
For example, there are millions of examples.
case,
What
yes,
comes
sir.
to mind, if, butts of a choliv you can't cook, eat, or benefit from. Correct? Okay. What happens if it's chazer that you mix with milk?
You could benefit from it.
So because chazer is already forbidden, it can't have another sin of butts of a choliv. Therefore, pork and milk you could benefit from. You can give it to your dog. Why? Because ain is a challah. Once something is forbidden, it can't become more forbidden. Okay? According to Rabbi Yossi, now the question, what does Chachamim hold? Rabbi Yossi says very simple. She started off as a mother-in-law. I mean, in that case, anyway, she's going to get the skila because mother-in-law's strict. Okay. But she started off as a mother-in-law. She wasn't a shesish yet. She is now forbidden to this guy because she's his mother-in-law. Correct? Okay. Now she decided to get married. So now you have a second issue called Eishes Ish. Rabbi Yossi says no. You can't add Eishes Ish because she's already forbidden. Okay, so in that case, Rabbi Yossi says you're going to get the mother-in-law, which is Kila anyway. But what happens if she was an Eishes Ish? First. And then she got divorced and widowed. And then she became his mother-in-law. So then Rabbi Yossi said, because she was an Eishes Ish, you can't add mother-in-law to it. Because she's already forbidden. So therefore the punishment would be chanek. That's what Rabbi Yossi holds.
Why don't the Rabbanim hold that? It's
Once, so everybody was screaming the other way, what's Rabbi Yossi? Now you're saying what's the Chachamim. Okay, so you said like,
What is the logic for this change?
this is very logical. Once something is forbidden, you can't make it more forbidden.
But the whole sugya we're talking about is that you do. And you judge them based on the more strict one. But you do consider all the infringements.
Rabbi Yossi holds, Ein Isser Chalal Isser. Chum holds it's Isser Meisav. We'll get to this soon.
What does that mean, ain't nisur? If someone...
Once something is forbidden, it can't become more forbidden. I gave you the example.
Yeah, I understand.
Once something is chazer, it's already treif. It can't become more treif as basav v'chalav.
But he has a second infringement, which is more serious than the other.
He has second infringement also, basav v'chalav now.
No, this is not basar. It's not, I mean...
I'm giving you another example of halacha.
But that basar b'chalav is not chal on something that's not a kosher meat.
Why not? Why?
I don't know.
Because ain iser chalal iser. Because it's already forbidden. If it's already forbidden, you can't make it more forbidden.
That's the reason?
Yeah, that's the reason. Halacha says that why it's mutar b'ano, because it's ain iser chalal
It's
iser.
not because of b'chalev,
No.
imot, b'chalev, imot,
No,
it's
no, no,
something
no,
that's
no. It's
kosher.
nothing to do with that.
Just like first mother-in-law and then she becomes married. Same thing.
So then the first one, anyways, mother-in-law, which is skila. So then the Chacham and Rabbi Yossi wouldn't argue. Chacham and Rabbi Yossi would argue if she was first a married woman.
Yeah.
And then she became his mother-in-law. So Chachamim say, listen, the guy did an Aveda, it's two punishments, right? Because he did it after she was married and the mother-in-law.
He gets the most-
So you get the stricter one. And Rabbi Yossi says, no.
It's whatever the first one.
Whatever the first one is, that's what it is. But he says like this. He's going to challenge Rabbi Yossi now. Why? Is that what you're saying? Okay? If she was first a mother-in-law, then became an Eishes Ish, you got judged with Chamaisai. Lida Nami Eishes Ish. He said you should also get punished for Eishes Ish. Why? The Rabbabu said that made the Rabbi Yossi be'isem meisef. Rabbi Yosef holds ein Isser Chalal Isser, unless the Gemara says if there's additional punishment. Okay. Now, what does it mean Isser Meisef? It's very interesting, very simple. A mother-in-law that's single, yeah, is only forbidden to him. To the rest of the world, she's not forbidden. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A mother-in-law is only forbidden to the to his mother-in-law. Okay? Eishes Ishto is forbidden for the whole world. It's not one Isser, Chalan and Isser, that you say, no, once it's treif, it's treif already. He asked the question, what do you mean? Rabbi Yosef himself agrees, the Gemara says in Yavamis, when Rabbi Yosef talks about, and this is the Halacha Shchurach, Ein Isser Chalal Isser is when it's the same thing with no additional sins. Like pork and milk versus meat and kosher meat and milk. Here, though, it's called Isser Meisef. There's an additional sin here. What's the additional sin? As a mother-in-law, she's only forbidden to him or all the other kids, whatever. Yeah. Now she became Eishes Ish. It's additional Aveda. Now she's forbidden for the world. There's a new sin happening. And then you do say Isser Chalal Isser. Then it does become forbidden.
But to him it doesn't make a difference if the whole world, she's a Eshet Ish to other people. To him, it's one Avera.
Huh? It doesn't matter. This woman is now forbidden to him as a mother-in-law.
Right.
Now, according to Rabbi Yosef and the Chacham, by the way, now she becomes an Eishes Ish.
To a whole world.
So therefore, it's an additional sin in her existence. This woman was only forbidden for him and mutter for everybody else. Now she's forbidden for everybody else. So therefore, the sin of Eishes Ish applies to him too now. What?
She gets the same chiyuv if it's mutually consensual.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. So the Gemara answered him back, Amalei, what do you want to kill him twice? You want to kill him twice? In other words, yeah, Rabbi Yosef concedes he got two prohibitions. But you can't kill him twice, meaning like this. He says, when does Rabbi Yosef say, Isser Chalal Isser? Yeah? If you're going to gain him two punishments, like twice Malchus. The first Isser has one Malchus. Now there's a second Isser, you're going to get double punishment. Isser Chalal Isser. In other words, let's say mother-in-law would be Malchus. And Eishes Ish would be Malchus. Let's say. Not death. So now the shaila is, a guy who lives with his mother-in-law is going to get Malchus once. If the sin, forget that, there's no death. Malchus. Yeah? A guy lives with his mother-in-law, he's going to get Malchus. Yeah, that's it. Now she's a mother-in-law as an Eishes Ish. So you're going to get two Malchus.
But with that, you cannot kill someone.
That's what I'm saying, forget that. That's what he answers him.
Yeah.
He answered, what do you, how can China go, it's a Meisef. What, are you going to kill him twice? No, but I'm explaining. By if it wouldn't be death, if it would be Malchus, Taka. Let's say the punishment for all adultery is Malchus. Mother-in-law will get Malchus. Now the question is, now she became an Eishes Ish. If you hold Ein Isser Chalal Isser, how many Malchus would she get? One. You would get one. For mother-in-law, because you can't make another sin on it, because it's already forbidden.
Malchus or death?
I said there's no death. Let's say there's no death.
Okay.
Just Malchus.
For the sake of argument, it's Malchus.
Let's say it's Malchus, yeah? So then, if it's a mother-in-law, then you get Malchus. A mother-in-law that's an Eishes Ish also. So now the din is like this. If Isser does not go on Isser, that means it's only mother-in-law, you get Malchus once. Correct? Because it's only mother-in-law. She's an Eishes Ish, but you can't make that in addition to mother-in-law. Ain't Isser Chalal Isser. But if you hold by Isser Meisef, then it is Chal Isser Al Isser, then they would get double Malchus. But he says, Kim, but you're going to kill him twice. Like, what are you hacking a Chinese? So what if he's a Chalalissa? He's getting killed. We didn't kill him twice. What's the difference?
No, we don't mean to say that he should get killed twice. He gets the worse, the more strict one.
That he's going to get. He's talking about a case of Chamaisi first, and she becomes an Eishasish. Anyway, it's Skila. Chamaisi is Skila. But he asked, why isn't it Issachar Alyssa? Then he should get punished as Eishasish. She says to him, no, he has to get killed. You can't kill him twice. So you kill him for the first one that he did. Okay, next Mishnah. Pay Aleph Amid Beis, all the way on top. Mishalaka Vishana. Okay, a guy did an event like he ate chazer, yeah? He was whipped once, ate it again, got whipped twice. And Bezdin is sick and tired of dealing with this guy. What do? Bezdin machnisun eisi lekipam. You're bringing him into a cell. Machilan eisi sa'edim. You give him barley. Achikrisim is bakas until the stomach platzes.
Because he can't stop.
Meaning, he did it 3 times already. Speaking when he did it the 3rd time. You know, he did it once, got Malchus. Did it the 2nd time, got Malchus. Yeah? Now he did it the 3rd time. So now the guy has a chazaka of being a sinner. So, yeah, technically, you can't kill a guy for eating chazer. The punishment is Malchus, not death. Because the guy is a repeat, like strike 3. Strike 3, you know. No, so therefore, the Mishnah says, what do? You don't kill him directly, you kill him indirectly. You take him into a cell, and the one's going to discuss what type of cell this is. Very interesting. Exact measurements of the guy, that he can't move. You give him barley, and he dies himself.
Has this ever happened?
1 minute. The Gemara says, I wouldn't stand. Mishum dalaka b'shana bezin kain tzarei l'kipa. He said, I don't understand. Why should a guy die because he only gets malchus? He ate treif. So why should you kill him? Let him eat treif 10 times. Why should he get killed? Like, why in the world should he get killed? Doesn't make sense. The guy didn't do an avera that deserves to die. So he did it 10 times. He repeated offender of malchus. So give him malchus. Why should he die? So my answer is a special malchus over here. The din is like this. If a guy did an aveda that the punishment is chorus, right? The God kills you young. So the Mishnah says in Malchus, all chayvi krisis, Bezin gives malchus to. Kol chayvi krisis malchus. It's a clear mission in Malchus. I understand, but chorus is Hashem going to kill you. So Bezin first gives him malchus. That's the din, and then Hashem does what he wants to do.
So they get the malchus anyway.
So the din is like this. We're speaking here. The guy did an aved of chorus. Yeah. So really, he should be dying from heaven. So if he did it once, Bezin gives him malchus. He did it a 2nd time, Bezin gives him malchus. He did it a 3rd time, then Bezin's going to make him die on his own.
Well, chorus, not eating chazir.
Right. So the Gemara says, we're not talking about an aved of chazir, eating treif. Eating treif, even if he does it 100 times, Bezin will not kill him. They won't put him into the cell. They'll give him malchus. They'll give him 10 times malchus. But if a guy gets malchus because he did an aved of kodesh, which really is death, not from Bezdin, but from Hashem, and the guy's a repeat performer, so then what does Bezdin do? They put him into the kippah, give him barley, and let his stomach platz.
Well, because it's Hilul Hashem that he does it over.
No, let's see what the Gemara. Let's see it inside. Amir Rabbi Yirmi, Amir Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish. Rabbi Yirmi said the name of Rish Lakish. Hocha b'Malkish shel krisis askinen. We're speaking with Malchus that a guy did an aveda for kodesh. Okay, and he's told that you're going to get Malchus and you're going to get kodesh and so on. The Gava Barkatolahu. Really, the guy is condemned to die in Shemayim, right? The time of death didn't come yet. What is Kodesh? Kodesh means you're going to die. But your time doesn't come yet until you're 50 or 60.
Tanya.
Well,
Hashem's giving them time to repent.
Enochanami. 1 second. So therefore, mekaven le'lektoya lui. So in that case, because the guy kept giving up his life, so to speak, he kept committing the same aved of kodesh. So then Bezdin's going to make him die sooner. They're not going to kill him. He dies indirectly. But basically, that death comes from heaven.
Now, how do they know that when Hashem is going to kill him? Beit Din is making a decision right now he's going to be killed. If it's Karet Be'at Shamayim, maybe he's going to be killed 10 years from now.
Doesn't matter. He'll die before 450 or 60, no?
You think this scenario ever happened? Just like Ben Sura or murder never
I don't know if this happened.
These are hypothetical, probably.
But this is, again, the Gemara is going to come up with a brilliant deduction of detail in this case. This that we said, if a guy does repeat chorus, Bezin puts him into the kippah, is speaking if he did the same Aveda twice or 3 times.
Right.
Then he's a repeat performer. But if he did one Aveda of chorus, and another Aveda that also gets chorus, and the third Aveda of chorus, then you don't put him into the kippah. Why? He's trying out the various sins. If it's the same sin, the guy already knows what he's doing. So then Bezdin will kill him. In the kippah. So he says like this, Amalei, Rabbi Yaakov, Rabbi Yirmiyah Bar Tachlifa. So Rabbi Yaakov said to Rabbi Yirmiyah Bar Tachlifa, Ta'az bro, come, I'll explain to you the Mishnah. But Malkish Yokoris Achas. The Mishnah is speaking when a guy did an Aveda, the same Kodesh Aveda. He ate Chametz on Pesach 3 times or twice. So far it's twice. Yeah? Avol Shoshtayim and Shalosh Krises. But if a guy did Mashal, he ate Chametz on Pesach, and then he ate on Yom Kippur, yeah, and then he had relations with a woman that's Kodesh. He says then he suited the Kotoim. He's giving into the Yetzer Hara to do different sins to see how they are. So therefore you don't renounce his life so much. It's interesting detail though. He says, when does our Mishnah say that a guy that keeps getting malchus, you put him into the kippah and make him stomach plots with barley? That's only number 1 if it's an aved of kodesh, not stam malchus. A guy eats chazer or treif, you're not going to put him into the kippah. So number 1 has to be an aveda that he gets malchus because he did an aved of kodesh. So he's basically a dead person. But even then, it's only when he did 3 avedas, the same 2 or 3 avedas of the same kodesh. He ate chametz and Pesach 3 times. He said, "What? You didn't know what it tastes like already?" Or he ate on Yom Kippur 3 times. Or he did the different women that get kodesh.
Pushing it.
Yeah, what he eat. So if he did 3 different avedas, the Gemara says no. Then he's not a repeat performer. It's interesting. 3 strikes, the Gemara says here, is only if it's the same Aveda 3 times. If it's a different Aveda, you can't call 3 strikes. Yes, he ate hard, he wants to taste different sins. Okay, now the Gemara, what time is it? Okay, let's just start this. Now, the Mishnah implies, by the way, twice. What does the Mishnah say? Misha Laka Vishana. He did Malchus, and he did it again, which means 2 times, not 3 times, right? Misha Laka Vishana. Shana, so the Gemara says, Alpha Gavdul Shalish. Even though he didn't do it, the Mishnah implies that if a guy sinned twice, you don't wait for the 3rd sin, right? You put him right away into the kippah. So Lema Masnis and the lake of Shimon Gamliel. Our Mishnah cannot go according to Rabbi Shimon Gamliel to eat Rabbi Shimon Gamliel. Lo Omer, Rabbi Shimon Gamliel says throughout Shas, Tlaz Dimna Le'ava Chazaka. Ibachlal. When is a Chazaka? Rabbi Shimon Gamliel says 3 times. Right? Not twice. Our Mishnah seems to imply a guy did it twice, he's already a chazaka, a sinner, and put him into the kippah. Right? But that means our Mishnah can't go according to Rabbi Shimon Gamliel. The Gemara says, Amar Rava of Ervina. Avilu Teim Rabbi Shimon Gamliel. Here it could go according to Rabbi Shimon Gamliel. Why? Kosavar Avedis Machazikis. Meaning, the Gemara thought the guy did an Aver 3 times, but he was only whipped twice. So the third time he did the sin, because that's what the Mishnah says. A guy did an Avera, he got Malchus. Then he did it again, he got Malchus. Then the third time, you don't give him Malchus, you put him into Kippah. So Gemara's question is, but he only got Malchus twice, it's not a Chazaka. So Gemara answered, yeah, it is a Chazaka, because he did 3 sins. He sinned, got Malchus, sinned again and got Malchus. Now he sinned the third time. Then you put him into the Kippah. Why? Because he sinned 3 times. He has a chazak in sinning.